So far, the FBI has not confirmed that the shooters here had any other intended targets. Lester?
All right, Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. The former governor of Kentucky, Matt Bevin, is facing a fierce backlash tonight for pardoning or commuting the sentences of hundreds of people, including murderers and rapists. The sister of one murder victim saying Bevin can rot in hell. Here's Peter Alexander.
Tonight, just days after leaving office, former Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is under fire for issuing 428 pardons and commutations, according to the Louisville Courier-Journal. Among those Bevin pardoned, a man convicted of raping a 9-year-old child, another who hired a hitman to kill his business partner, a man who killed his parents, and a man who beheaded a woman before stuffing her in a barrel.
Governor Bevin's pardons show what is a shocking lack of judgment and potentially an abuse of our system of justice.
Most of those impacted low-level drug offenders, but also pardoned Patrick Brian Baker, set free this week, 2 years into a 19-year sentence for a home invasion where Baker shot and killed Donald Mills, whose sister is furious.
Pissed off. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was pissed off.
The Courier-Journal reports Baker's family last year raised more than $21,000 for Bevin. Tonight, Democratic lawmakers are demanding answers.
We owe it to the people of Kentucky to dive in and figure out what happened and determine if their trust has been betrayed.
Bevin, a Trump ally who last month lost his re-election bid, tweeting late tonight, "America is a nation that was established with an understanding and support for redemption and second chances." Peter Alexander, NBC News.
I want to weigh in right there real quick on the state of Kentucky. You know, they'll let these rootless murderers and these drug offenders loose. Some of them that has done some of the heinous crimes in the world. But somebody like myself that's trying to preach a message of redemption, a message of love, a message of grace, they'll attack me if I so much as step on a wooden nickel. What the people don't understand is that the people are in between a hard place and a rock. This don't have nothing to do with a certain particular individual. It doesn't have nothing to do with the law in general. It's that the people have allowed for this to get out of hand to the effect that now their jails are running so rapidly, so full, that now it's costing more for the state of Kentucky to keep these people confined than it is to run the whole state. Because what they wasn't putting into the equation, that whenever they was giving these people long sentences, 15, 20, 25, 30, sometimes life without parole, as these people are rotting in jail, they're getting sick. Their health is deteriorating. And as their health is deteriorating, the state of Kentucky's having to fit the bill for this in a humane way. They can't just let somebody just lay in the jail cell and just cough and hack and sneeze and basically wither away and die without any type of assistance. That would be inhumane. So now they've got all these people in all these jails, and now the jails is running full, and the jails is full of sick people. And guess what? It's not just that way in Kentucky. It's that way across the board, all the way across the board in the United States. The people have messed up because they have allowed for these rootless, corrupt politicians to burn the candle on both ends, and a lot of them was so powerful and rich that they thought that they was above and beyond the law. A lot of them was the ones that was actually bringing the drugs in or allowing for the drug problem to get as bad as what it has. In the meantime, they're steadily pumping their money off into their bank accounts, living in nice homes, living in nice cars, living in luxurious vacation homes. Just like Donald Trump said, the system is rigged. It's become corrupt. It's become polluted. It's become contaminated. And because of it, now we're seeing the repercussions. After 30 years, it has taken 30 years for the people to finally wake up and realize, whoops, what did we do here? 2.3 million incarcerated people in jail? $23 trillion? What's going on here? I'm going to tell you what's going on. The wealthy, the demonic, the wicked, the rich, the blasphemers, the lukewarmers have taken advantage of all this. Not just one politician, but almost all of them. Almost every single one of them. First of all, hadn't been doing their jobs properly, and secondly, have been dibbly-dabbling off into the cookie jar, fattening their own accounts, and the whole time they was supposed to be in there working for the people, but instead of working for the people, they was working for themselves. This is on December the 13th, the year 2019. It is absolutely a heartbreak in seeing what has occurred today pertaining to the impeachment deal and everything going on, in which there's no doubt if Donald Trump done what he done, he needs to be impeached. If he can't come up with a valid reason why that he has done what he done, pertaining to cutting off aid to one of our allies for about a month and a half, if he can't come up with a reasonable explanation in those regards, he needs to walk around with a brand of I'm an impeached president. I done something wrong. I made a boo-boo. And I got caught making the boo-boo.
The U.S. and China today announcing a partial agreement to end the ongoing trade war. As a result, President Trump says he will not impose another round of tariffs set to take effect on Sunday. But this is just a first step. 25% tariffs remain on a long list of Chinese-made goods. Tonight, former First Lady Michelle Obama is among those defending 16-year-old climate activist Greta Thunberg after President Trump mocked her for being named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Here's Katie Beck.
Greta Thunberg.
Now see, we go from one extreme with Donald Trump into another extreme. Either the best of the best or the worst of the worst. Cutting down a 16-year-old that's in favor towards planet survival.
Making a call for action in Italy today.
They will have to do their job and to protect our futures.
The 16-year-old taking little time to savor being named Time Magazine's youngest ever Person of the Year. President Trump, one of 5 finalists, bashing the decision, tweeting, Greta must work on her anger management problem. Then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. Chill, Greta, chill. Thunberg, who is on the autism spectrum, calling it her superpower, has been attacked by Mr. Trump before, responding by using the president's words in her own Twitter bio. A flood of support for her followed, including from Michelle Obama. Don't let anyone dim your light. Ignore the doubters and know that millions of people are cheering you on. Just last week, First Lady Melania Trump expressed outrage after her teenage son Barron was mentioned by name during impeachment hearings by a law professor.
So while the president can name his son Barron, he can't make him a Baron.
Melania saying she should be ashamed. Overnight, Be Best, the name of the First Lady's campaign against bullying, trending. The White House telling CNN today the president and First Lady often communicate differently. Their son is not an activist who travels the globe. He's a 13-year-old who wants and deserves privacy. The latest in a feud between President Trump and a teenager. Katie Beck, NBC News.
Tomorrow marks 7 years since the horrific shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut. Tonight, there's new hope as a group founded by Newtown parents has opened the first crisis center of its kind to prevent other school tragedies. Our Kate Snow has the first look.
No, nobody gets in trouble. We're just here to help gather information, okay?
Tucked away in this Miami office.
I just wanted to make sure that someone spoke to him.
Every beep is another tip coming in.
There's an immense power here because they're saving lives and intervening right now as we stand here.
Nicole Hockley is a co-founder of Sandy Hook Promise, and this is the first national crisis center focused on school safety. School districts in 21 states are training students to use the program Say Something. They can submit a tip anonymously, online, by phone, or most popular, through a mobile app. It's about preventing a disaster in school instead of reacting to one.
This is about how you change a culture to really look out for each other and giving the kids the control over their environment and what they do versus saying that this is an unsafe environment and you need to practice running and hiding.
This is a tip you got last month.
Yes.
About a potential school shooting.
Yes. Saying that they're extremely afraid to come to school because of this threat.
Jessica Neely is the Crisis Center manager. Since opening in September, her counselors have handled more than 5,000 tips, responding within seconds, connecting with the school and authorities as needed.
The tipster says here, thank you so much for letting me talk to you. If I find anything else out, I will let you know.
That shows that they trust the system.
Yes.
You're doing a really good job right now. Do you know
one of the most common tips? Students worried a friend might hurt themselves.
Where's the razor right now?
Hockley believes the Sandy Hook shooting, where she lost her 6-year-old Dylan, might have been prevented if someone had spoken up.
I made a promise to him 7 years ago that I would do everything I could to honor his legacy and to prevent school shootings going forward. And this is part of honoring that promise, saving others' lives in his name.
Saving lives by teaching students to say something. Kate Snow, NBC News, Miami.
And truly making a difference. Now to our series, The Money You Make, a look at African-American women almost twice as likely to live in poverty as Americans overall. But a provocative experiment is helping them
investigate to flesh out more on that? Maybe.
Stay with us. Parents, I don't remember a day that I went without.
Jaguar
makes a compact SUV.
But special.
So I put 25, 25, 25, Warren, Biden, Bloomberg. A lot of the reasons we already talked about Biden, Bloomberg, I think people are going to take a harder look at them. Warren, I still believe is a part of the party that wants to see her do well. I think if she...
To see if the resort fee can be taken off the bill if you're not planning to use any of the amenities or services it covers. For Nightly Business Report, Seema Modi.
And finally tonight, they are called non-bank banks, among other things. And there are a lot of them out there to choose from these days. Big and small tech companies are getting into the banking business by offering credit cards and savings accounts and other services. But before opening an account with one of them, it's important to think about how you bank. Our senior personal finance correspondent Sharon Epperson is here with some tips on that tonight. How do these differ from a traditional bank?
Well, they're called challenger banks, and they can be from big tech companies or smaller fintech, financial technology startups. And the purpose of them is to allow you to have easier access to banking with a branchless bank, digital bank, get checking accounts, savings accounts, and then most of the time, but you have to check on this, they're partnered with a federally insured, FDIC-insured bank to actually provide you that kind of protection. But there are a number of companies that are doing this, from companies like Chime that has about 6.5 million accounts, to other companies like SoFi, which is a refinancing company for student loans, but now also has SoFi Money. And then there's T-Mobile Money as well as Betterment. So a lot of companies that are in the mix doing this.
What are the advantages, if there are some, for consumers?
Well, they're lower cost because they may not have overdraft fees. There may not be a minimum balance due. There may not be there may be higher rates that you can get on loans, and and your savings accounts, and then you may also have greater access to credit because artificial technology making it easier to get more access. And then the specialized services as well, whether it's checking or savings or payment options, you want that specific option, that's for you, and it's right there on your phone.
Disadvantages. What happens when the lights go off, for example?
Exactly. So there's no human interaction. If you have an issue, there's nothing that you can do to talk to someone about it. If you want to go one place and get your mortgage and your credit card and your checking, that's not for you because it's going to probably be a specialized offering. And then your data's out there. Anytime that you're doing something with technology like this, you're putting your data out there. And so you may be at a greater risk. You need to think about this. Basically, ask yourself, how do I want to bank? And then decide which one's going to be best for you.
As always, Sharon Epperson. Thank you.
Exactly.
My pleasure.
See you later.
Good luck to all of us.